he deserves an applause.
So amazing.
The youthful Charlotte Bobcats face off against the heavyweight Boston Celtics. It's Wednesday night basketball here on 2K Sports.
Welcome to Boston as the Celtics get ready to start this game off. Brought to you by T-Mobile, the starting lineup for Doc Rivers and Larry Brown. After this one game on the road, the Bobcats will head back home to Charlotte. Clark, they're starting off the season on hostile ground. We'll see if they can strike the first blow with the road win. All right, let's take a moment now for the Sprite ice-cold keys to the game. Now, Clark, as you look at the Bobcats, what do you think will be the key for them?
How well can they disrupt Kevin Garnett's game? That's what they have to be thinking about to contain this team. He's an excellent rebounder on both backboards, so you've got to get into him and deny him prime position inside.
Now, Clark, what about Boston? What do they need to do to secure a win?
They can't afford to ignore Raymond Felton, Kevin. He's a creative passer whose court vision allows him to see plays that others don't. I call that seeing a frame ahead. So defensively, they can't lose track of anybody. See the ball and see your man. If someone slips free, he'll find him.
We'll see how it pans out. Thanks, Clark. And it's the Celtics with the ball, following the Bobcats' miss. Garnett. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. On defense, Boston. And this matchup with the Bobcats, it's their first meeting of the season.
And as you might expect, it was not a tough series to win last season, given where these teams ended up.
Felton with the ball to the corner. Here's Diaw. Scores the opening field goal.
That's a strong finish inside. That's where you want to work your magic, Kevin.
Rondo with the ball. He's covered by Felton. Wallace is there. Lets it go. Hits back rim and gets a nice bounce. Let's talk about where Paul Pierce places himself in the fabric of the Boston Celtics, that rich history.
Yeah.
Is he one of the 5 greatest Celtics ever?
In my opinion, yes, no doubt. He's got a championship ring. He's been he's been a significant, integral part of a championship team. And throughout his career, at some point, you have to value what players have done individually. I know titles make a difference in evaluating players, but when a guy produces at the level that Paul Pierce has produced at, then he clearly has a place amongst the all-time greats, even in the storied history of the Boston Celtics when you look at his career numbers.
Felton with the ball after the miss from Kevin Garnett. Wallace backs in. Here's Diaw. Garnett grabs the board. The Celtics looking for their first lead of the game. Pierce drains it for 3. He has 5.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
Diaw inside, working on Garnett. Diaw can't hit.
With that, they find themselves missing on 4 of their first 5 shot attempts. That's not a good start. Actually, it's a bad start for them.
Here's Garnett. Nets it from the wing.
I'm not sure that's the shot they want, but they'll take the basket.
Felton with the ball. Here's Bell. It's in for 3. Rondo with the ball. He had 15 points last outing. From inside, they retain possession. Garnett. Almost a 3-point opportunity. Instead, he'll go to the line for 2. It's on Tyson Chandler. You've watched a lot of Kevin Garnett. Is he the most intense NBA player you've ever seen?
I tell you what, he's right up there. And I don't know if anybody has a more intense pregame mantra than KG does. I mean,
yes,
the way he goes up against the basket stanchion and support and makes all kind of machinations with his mouth and looks into the crowd and talks to himself before the jump ball. But he's been doing that since he came into the league. I mean, I knew Sam Mitchell was a teammate of his in Minnesota, and he said, this young guy is something else. And that's been who he is and who he's been throughout his career. So I don't know if there's anybody that's ever been more intense in getting ready to play day in and day out than Kevin Garnett.
Felton with the ball. To Wallace. Felton. Now Bell. Low block. In close.
Chandler, shooting 2.
He knocks down the first one. Gets them both. Rondo with it. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Pierce, down low. Here's Allen. Yes, from downtown. I know all the other Celtic teammates he has are enjoying themselves, but when you think of Ray Allen and the route he has taken to get to where he was as a world champion with this Boston team, to know his single individual skill set, you feel very good for this guy and what he's been able to accomplish, and cap it off with the win.
Yeah, he's always been one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
Covered him a lot in college. Always very thoughtful and cerebral in how he approached the game and how he handled himself off the court. And you couldn't be happier for a guy when you think of Ray Allen. And then you think about that sweet jump shot.
Is that as good a stroke as you've seen in the NBA?
It's one of the best. He's one of the guys that I could just sit in the gym, me and him and somebody else rebounding the ball for him and just watch him shoot because it's a thing of beauty.
And here is Diaw. Rondo missing on the 3. Here's Bell. Can't tie up the score.
Well, he can't believe that one didn't fall. Those are usually automatic.
Tipped. Allen sticks it from 17 feet. He's got 5. Charlotte trailing. To Bell. Wallace buries the short-range jumper.
No one really contested him at the basket that time, Kevin. He's just too good in there to leave the door open for him.
Rondo with it. No points for him. Garnett, the screen. Over Felton. Rondo gets the bucket.
The pick wasn't ultra effective, but it got him just enough room for the score.
Coach Brown signals for a timeout. Youth basketball in this country, Clark, always trying to find an edge, better training methods, more games, better coaching. How would you say it compares to the way young basketball players are being guided through the European leagues, European coaches, European schools, to the U.S. school, the U.S. system?
Well, you know what? It's really interesting. I'm not quite as familiar with how European players are trained other than what I've read and heard from other people. And there seems to be more of an emphasis on instruction and really developing players as opposed to trying to make kids pros too early. In the U.S., I think because there's so much coverage, because there's so much attention paid to high school recruiting, there's a tendency for young players to get caught up and distracted by the glamour of being a basketball player as opposed to the process of developing their skills. And I think that's detrimental to the players in the U.S. system.
Now Bell. Right around 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And here is Diaw. Over Davis. It's blocked. The Celtics with the lead. Down low. Here's Wallace. Rebound by Wallace.
No defense there to bother the shot, and he still misfired. His coach does not look happy.
Felton to the wing. Stolen by Allen. The dump off to Allen. The handoff to Wallace. Kept alive. To Pierce. Hands it off to Wallace. Here's Pierce. He's covered by Felton. Shoots from the post, and that one's good by Pierce. Kind of interesting when Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen covered the Boston Celtics, and they said maybe you two should be the captains. They said no. Paul Pierce has been here the longest. Paul Pierce is the captain of this team.
Yeah, that speaks volumes to who Paul Pierce is and what he's been, but also to those other guys as well. And Pierce has just been such a steady, high-level player throughout his career. One of the outstanding scorers, and maybe one of the best clutch scorers, top 4 or 5 clutch scorers in the NBA throughout his career. I mean, he's put together some fourth quarters and some playoff numbers that rival some of the all-time greats.
Coach Brown calls a timeout. Here's Wallace. On the shot clock. Here's Wallace. And it's no good. Poor shot selection there, to say the least. To Davis. Pierce. Pierce. The shot misses. Now the Bobcats take it the other way. Here's Wallace. Gently drops it in. He has 6.
This guy's really providing a lot of offense for him right now.
Here's Pierce. Right block. 6 seconds to shoot. Laid in softly off the glass. They're in front, 19-13. Coach Brown wants a timeout.
I don't fear. Enough of them a bad man, guess what I don't care. Bet me, you think I am cold. Get you off, girl, it's like the sound there. And everything is alright. We make the dance all night.
We be the oasis. We show taste by making the whole place shift. We show faith with no patience. It don't make sense. Ain't no place for the truckle and bass. Yes, we never play chess. Let's not turn on and get hot. Turn over. Not too much roll like a popcorn kernel. So we clown snakes, I'm thinking the ground shake. I'm using the track, sticking the pound shake. Keep brothers who sound fake. You must check the style. We extra.
The Celtics changing it up. Now Augustine. Diaw inside. Davis is there. Takes the shot.
Boris Diaw spent time on the French national team, but his mom provided the DNA for his basketball skills. She's regarded as one of the best centers in French women's basketball history. He's the 2005-2006 most improved player in the NBA, a versatile performer, a stat sheet stuffer.
Now Augustine. 2:43 left in the first. Here comes Pierce. They lead by 7. To Wallace. Walker. 6 seconds to shoot. To House. Hits the elbow jumper. Coach Brown calls for a timeout. Charlotte trailing. Here's Diaw. Sinks the open shot. He's got 6.
Boris Diaw is kind of an undersized power forward, but he gets it done at both ends. He defends well, he's a versatile ball handler and scorer, and he's also a pretty good playmaker from that position.
On defense, Charlotte. 7-point differential. Pierce on the mark with the fadeaway. Now Augustine. 1:28 left in the first quarter. Here's Chandler from short range. Graceful finish.
Nice feed inside. Sets his teammate up for the easy deuce.
On the elbow. To Davis. Diaw's there. It's hauled in by Diaw. And the Bobcats have it. They trail by 7. Down low. Here's Chandler. Hits the front rim and in.
It just goes to show you, folks, everybody in this league is a pro. Give them a shot like that and they'll knock it down.
Coach Rivers calls time. Changes for the Celtics. Now Allen. His last outing, he had 24 points. To the elbow. Won't. Backs down. The jump hook hits the jump hook. He's got 5.
And right now, Kevin, they're getting everything they want and sending a message while they're doing it.
7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. To Brown from close range. Oh, barely misses the shot, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Second team foul.
That's on Paul Pierce. We talked about sending a message, Clark. This certainly is one way to do that.
Well, it really is, Kevin. I mean, it's demoralizing to a defense when you can't and don't consistently get stops.
And he makes the first one. Pierce will get a well-earned rest. He gets them both. Rondo with the ball. Almost a 3-point opportunity. Instead, he'll go to the line for 2.
Second team foul.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. You got to stop the layup there. Make him earn his points from the line.
Allen shooting 2.
He knocks down the first one. Gets them both. Now Augustine. Here's Bell. Can't get the buzzer beater. The Celtics with the early lead.
They've gotten a big lift from their bench. That balanced scoring really bodes well for them.
And we end an exciting first quarter. The score, 30-23. Welcome back. We're glad you're with us. The second quarter should begin in just a moment. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Cheryl Miller.
Hey guys, Ray Allen, considered one of the greatest all-time three-point shooter, credits his pregame ritual for the reason. He likes to be the first player on the floor before any of his teammates. He puts in about 500 shots. He says he hits the showers, gets a quick massage, likes to relax in the locker room before the game, and guys, you know what? He manages the energy to play another 48 minutes. Imagine that. Listen to back to you guys.
All right, Cheryl. Please tune in October 31st, this Halloween. It'll be Yao Ming and the Houston Rockets. They play host to the Portland Trail Blazers. That one gets underway at 7:30 Eastern.
You know they're going to be extra hyped up for this one.
You're right. And Charlotte has possession. Here's Augustine. Trains it from the wing. Rondo with it. Rondo. Garnett. Odmanovich snatches it inside.
Really not enough defensive pressure there to force that miss. He's got to be disappointed.
And here is Chandler. Waltz ties it up, and that's a jump ball.
Jump ball call.
Allen wasn't watching the line there. That's going to be an over and back. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Boston Celtics. They'll be playing the Hornets. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. Now Bell. Perkins gets the defensive 3-second call. And here's a look at what's coming up for the Bobcats. They'll be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Boston has just caught on fire and is really locked on from beyond the arc.
Everyone seems to be getting involved in the long-range shooting today, Kevin. I've seen teams shoot this well for a short stretch, but they've been on the mark the whole game.
It's rare to see a team shoot so well for so long, but they've been feeling it and letting it fly.
And so far, so good.
DJ Augustine left the University of Texas early, comes to the NBA. What did you think about his short-lived college career and how he's made the transition to the league?
Phenomenal as a college player. Tremendous quickness and scoring ability. I think he's got a bright future in the NBA. It's just going to take a little time for him to establish himself as a big-time point guard.
Contact certainly altered that shot. The official was right on top of it.
He can't get the first. Allen is in at small forward. He misses them both. The Celtics with the lead. Please tune in October 31st. This Halloween, we'll be in New York to see the Knicks. The Philadelphia 76ers come into town. Start time, 7:30 Eastern.
It'll be fun to watch.
Rondo, no good. Charlotte trailing. High post. Cuts off the pass.
The lob was a little misjudged, and he couldn't get control of it. A tough sequence there.
Rondo, out left. Here's Allen. Hits the tray. He's got 10.
Just like the one he had in the first.
He's a dangerous shooter out there.
To Bell. Chandler a screen. Takes it up. Dumps it off. Bobcats give up possession.
That was an ugly possession. They were out of sync completely, and the ball just sailed out of bounds.
Nazzy Mohammed.
And here's Boston. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
You hate losing the entire game because you fall apart in the fourth quarter like these guys did. They got way too comfortable with the lead way too early.
Perkins with the bucket.
His inside game isn't that dominant, so when he drops shots like that, it's got to elevate his confidence.
Augustine poked away, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Celtics. Be sure to tune in again this Saturday. We'll see Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks as they take on the Clippers at Staples Center. Start time, 7:30 Eastern.
You can count on it that both teams want to win.
Yep. Now Bell, defended by Allen, to Radmanovic. Knocks down the trifecta.
They're shooting the ball extremely well right now. They're looking at that three-point shot as a way to get some extra offense and really continue to fortify their momentum.
Here's Perkins. Radmanovic crashes the boards.
That was all wrapped up with a bow on top, but he still couldn't lay it in. That's frustrating.
Perkins with it. His last outing, he had 8 points. Screened by Perkins. Off the pick. Gets in close. Allen, that's good.
Great pick there. The defender was stopped in his track, and it freed up the easy basket.
Now Augustine. The Bobcats will keep possession.
Good heads-up play to deflect that pass. That's why you stay active on defense with your hands. Make them use that clock.
Now Augustine. Radmanovic.
Ill-advised shot there. No question about it.
The Celtics, with the bucket here, could make it a double-digit game. To Garnett. Sinks it from the high post. He has 5.
They say the mid-range game is becoming a lost art in the NBA, but you certainly couldn't tell it from watching that play. What a sweet stroke.
Coach Brown wants to talk it over. Now Augustine. High post. Here's Wallace. Hammers it in. He's got 8.
Oh, 2 hands to make sure.
And here are the Celtics now. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Here's Pierce. He's got 11. 5 on the shot clock. It's tipped. The steal by the Bobcats.
Not the right time to throw that entry pass there, Kevin.
Here's Bell. It bounces out of bounds after the shot. Bell having a dominant impact in this game.
He's really doing a great job of finding the open man, and he has his team working in harmony because of it. It's like he has a second set of eyes.
He is doing such a great job of distributing, Clark. How do you counteract that?
They need to put more pressure on the ball and to try to force him to give it up before he gets comfortable.
We see the Bobcats making some changes. The Celtics with the lead. Garnett. 2 hands for safety. He has 7.
He's getting the highlight reel play of the day. Wait a minute. Make that week. Hey, make it the year. Now that was a dunk.
Now Augustine. To Diaw. Wallace. Here's Augustine. Knocks down the open jumper. They cut the lead to 8.
Kicked it to the right guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
Down low. Here's Perkins. Hits. Nice pass leading into the bucket. Nice bucket by the 7-year veteran out of Clifton J. Ozen High School. On the shot clock. Wallace down low. He's against Williams. Augustine, no luck.
With nobody around, he can't get it to fall. Won't see that very often, folks.
It falls. 9 points in the game so far.
He's making it look easy scoring out there because he's much more efficient here in the second.
Coach Brown signals for a timeout. The Celtics changing it up. Now Augustine, he's got 5. Diaw, the screen. Wallace on him. Yes! 8 points for him.
Wow, I think he shocked him there, Kevin. Not the guy you expect to hurt you in the post.
Swing pass. It's Pierce on the wing. To Garnett. The shot is off. And Charlotte the other way now.
That's his job. That's what he does. He clamped down on the shooter. He's one tough defender.
Augustine. No luck on the three-point attempt. Here's Rondo. Gerald Wallace grabs the miss. The Bobcats can trim it to single digits. Stolen away by the Celtics. Stolen away. Here's the Bobcats with the ball, trailing by 10. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Rondo with it. Garnett, the screen. Over Chandler. It's hauled in by Diaw. Charlotte trailing. Diaw. Picked off by Garnett.
Kevin, he has simply got to focus and make sure he keeps himself between the ball and the defense in that situation.
Here's Wallace. Sticks it from 17 feet. 7 points in the game. And the Bobcats have it. It's a 10-point game. Like you were saying, Clark, he's starting to rack up the turnovers this quarter.
Yeah, it's been rough. Actually, it's been hard to watch, but I think he can bounce back. It's just a matter of getting a couple of good plays back-to-back to get him going.
Coach Brown wants a timeout.
And I ran away. Got the goods made for walking. Spread my in my pocket cause it's today. I say, hey, Mrs. Park, can I get your spot? The block too hot, no parking lot. The joker say, you can take my cash. The boys on the block got us mine. I got the big unstoppable. I got the big unstoppable.
We see the Bobcats making some changes. Felton with the ball. Chandler lays it in. Sweet time to lead him to the rack. He's got 8.
Great vision on display there. The pass led him perfectly to the basket. That's how you do it.
Here comes Raymond Felton. To Brown. On the elbow. Felton to the high post. Diaw inside. He's against Garnett. Here comes Pierce. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. Here's Wallace. The shot is off. And Charlotte the other way now. 1:59 left in the second. To Felton. Brown, defended by Allen. Behind the arc. Pierce with the rejection, and it's still an 8-point game. Here's Wallace, defended by Bell. Shoots from the post.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Felton with the ball. Right wing. 6 seconds to shoot. To Bell. Takes a three. It's rebounded by Kevin Garnett.
The thrill is gone, and so is his offense. He's not making anything.
Here's Wallace. Garnett is tagged with the loose ball foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first.
Some changes for the Celtics.
Foul. Substitution for the Celtics: Tony Allen and Kendrick Perkins.
Felton with the ball.
An ideal time to go 2 for 1. Every possession counts.
Charlotte turns it over. We'll go the other way.
Sometimes you just don't connect. They can't dwell on it. They've got to move on and just D up and get it back.
Boston is just getting everything they want inside.
Points in the paint have been the story so far, and I don't think it's going to change unless this team starts defending with physicality, bodying up without fouling.
Rondo with it. 31 seconds left in the half. Rondo.
Everybody.
Cans the three. He's got 13.
The defense not doing a good job at all of getting after him. They've got to crowd him and make it tough for him. That's his second this quarter.
Here's Bell. Perkins pulls it in.
Shocking how wide open he was. Even more shocking that he couldn't sink it.
The Celtics
Have been on a scoring tear, Kevin.
Yeah, but still plenty of time left. This game is far from over. The clock runs out and we're heading to halftime. The score, 50-39. Let's go to the T-Mobile halftime report. All right, let's look at the team stats. Celtics have been getting a ton of picks so far.
Yeah, all those steals have helped them build a big lead. They're looking good going into the second half.
One of the stories here, Boris Diaw, really getting it done today.
Kevin, it's pretty clear that he means business. I mean, he's focused, he's giving excellent effort, and he's really locked in on winning this ball game.
Welcome back to the start of the second half. Some of the fans at home are hoping for a comeback here. We'll see if that can happen as we start this quarter. Rondo with it. On the shot clock. Dumps it off. And that one's good by Pierce.
He can't be stopped. He's having a party out there.
Rondo.
Here comes Raymond Felton. And here is Chandler. Here's Wallace. Misses the three after the nice pump fake. Here are the Celtics with the ball. It's a 13-point game. The dump off to Garnett. Diaw on him. The shot by Pierce will not go. Here comes Raymond Felton. For the alley-oop. Wallace misses.
Oh, nice idea there. I think he lost his grip at the finish.
Baseline. Here's Pierce. He's covered by Felton. On inside, and that one's good by Pierce.
Well, he's lighting it up, and that surprises no one. This guy is just a dynamite scorer.
Felton with the ball. Pierce covering. 6 seconds to shoot. Bell. There's the buzzer, and that's a shot clock violation.
Celtics ball.
Rondo with it. 15-point game. Rondo at the controls. To Pierce. Wallace is there. 6 seconds to shoot. Kept alive. Here's Garnett. The strong finish to throw it down. And he'll go to the line for one more. That one on Wallace.
Garnett shooting one.
He completes the three-point play. All right, now let's talk about the decorations Kevin Garnett wears. He's an NBA champion, former MVP, former Defensive Player of the Year. Leadership to me and what he gave that. He changed the culture of the Boston Celtics when he came from the Timberwolves. He changed everything about that team.
Well, there are select few people in life and in sports that can really impact and empower other people to go to another level. I think KG is one of those guys in the world of sports because of his intensity, because of the respect he demands, and because of the level of his talent.
Coach Brown calls for a timeout.
It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing. I'm a problem that'll never ever be solved. And no matter what, you'll never take that from me. My reign is as far as your eyes can see. It's amazing.
Bell wasn't careful with his position. He gets nailed with the backcourt violation. You have to like what we're seeing from Ray Allen.
This is just a magnificent shooting performance we're watching here. The other team has to feel helpless.
He is lights out from beyond the arc, and he shows no signs of slowing down. Clark, what do you do as a coach and try and slow down the shooting?
Well, Kevin, sometimes there's not much you can do other than challenging every shot, maybe throwing different defenders at him, but sometimes you just have to hope that he misses some shots.
Coach Rivers calls time.
Why should I not just force it? Because it's absurd vacations and suburbs. My skin's bleeding, eating cause I'm sleeping. I'm cheating, understand and forgive. One get handled, others believe and achieve. Know your depth of vacation. Trust is also my position. Plus it's not enough production. Roused and enjoyed the sun without flaws. I can't choose. It's too hard. That's why everybody gets a dolly. Dolly got your life and I can't choose. Too hard. That's why everybody gets a dolly. Dolly got your life and I. Baby, but I take it and best bucket market. Magic carpet works good. Best in my friend, my dude. What? Cut yourself a seat in first class. Promise it was the last. Now leave fast in your bed and get a break.
Now Garnett. 12 points for him. Allen goes up. Foul. Hard. Take a trip to the line. It's going to be on Rajah Bell.
Yeah, he wanted that three-point play. That shot came real close to going down.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first one. He gets them both. Now Bell. Here's Felton to end the drought. The shot misses, and the Celtics go with it the other way. Here's Pierce. Garnett, the screen. Over Diallo, and that one's good by Pierce.
He'll make that shot all game long. The defense has got to get over the top of that screen.
Rondo gets the reach-in call. That's his first foul of the game.
Fouled him to prevent the easy basket. He'll have to earn it at the line.
Now Bell. To Wallace. Bell. He's off from three.
They're showing a slight advantage on the boards in this one to this point, Kevin.
To the stripe, to Pierce. Here's Perkins. The gorgeous reverse. 6 points for him. And that slight advantage on the glass has helped them with the lead here.
Yeah, I expect that the team that grabs more rebounds is always one of the barometers in winning. Who controls the rebounding story? And if you out-rebound your opponent, typically you're going to have a chance to win.
Coach Brown wants to talk it over.
Stronger than Rome, prone, for people's own, but it's my own, all I have known, where I got grown, streets we would roam, out of the darkness, I came the farthest, among the hardest survivors, learn from these streets, it can be bleak, accept no defeat, surrender, retreat, we struggling, fighting to eat, and we wondering, when we'll be free, so we patiently wait for that fateful day. It's not far away, but for now we say, when I get older, I will be stronger. If I'll be freedom, just like a raisin flag.
Some adjustments for both teams. Felton with the ball. Here's Felton. Can't put an end to the scoring drought. And here we go with Rajon Rondo. Allen leads him in. Rondo nails the baby hook.
They're showing no mercy. This lead just keeps on growing.
Diallo, the screen. And the rebound goes to Rajon Rondo.
They've got to put an end to this run before the lead gets out of reach.
Here's Allen. Drains it from short range. 17 points in the game.
I love that they're staying aggressive and just keep piling on the point.
Here's Wallace. Bell leads the game in assists.
Easy look in the paint. The defense got abused there.
Perkins with it. It's Pierce on the wing. A three. It's hauled in by Diallo. Here comes Raymond Felton. Wallace on the paint, lays it right in. Sweet touch by the ninth-year veteran out of Alabama. Boston dictating the flow. Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half. The shot by Pierce will not go. And the Bobcats have it. Here's Bell. Oh, just missing. But he'll get 2 shots at the line.
That's his second.
It's on Rajon Rondo.
Looked like a good call from here where I sit. Definitely some contact on that shot.
Bell, shooting 2.
He knocks down the first one. He gets them both. Rondo with the ball. Under 6 minutes left in the third. Wallace a screen. Ray Allen is on the wing. To Rondo. Over Bell. Nailed it with just a little time left on the shot clock. He's got 19.
What a shot. I can't believe that one went down. When you're hot, you're hot.
Coach Brown calls a timeout.
Like a parallel universe you're visiting, but it's here on earth from the prison of the villages. Open up your mind and you feel limitless. Don't let them tell you what is real. They don't know realistically. They said Einstein was dumb. I'm coming for a relativity. They're just despicable, miserable individuals, and every single syllable that are in the cynical. It's typical. Don't sit down waiting on the miracle. Jump like little.
Felton with the ball. Shot. Passes it back. Here's Wallace. From deep. Nice shot by Felton.
Well, the D will live with that one. That's really not his range. So even though he bagged the 3, I think they'll still let him shoot those.
Rondo with the ball. Wallace down low. Diaw on him. Wallace misses. A difficult situation for Charlotte. Felton to the paint to Diaw. Stolen by Pierce.
And again, they let the defense get a hand on the ball. A little carelessness there. It's difficult to win in the NBA when you give the ball to the other team so much.
Here's Allen. Drains the open look. Coach Brown wants a timeout. Changes for the Celtics. Felton with the ball. Just over 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Inside to the corner. seconds to shoot. To Bell. With the clock winding down. The shot no good. So Boston will take it the other way. Perkins. Allen. Kept alive. Perkins with it. Right wing. Screen by Perkins. Allen, right block. Here's House. Sticks it from 17 feet. They're up 73-48. Coach Brown wants to talk it over. Felton with the ball. The handoff to Felton. Skip pass. Wallace inside. He's against Allen. 5 on the shot clock. To Bell. From downtown.
You have to question his shot selection, Kevin. Poor shot equal bricks and misses.
Wallace. Here's Perkins. Kisses it off the glass and in. 8 points for him.
Well, it's almost impossible to miss when the D is playing that soft.
And here is Dion. Wallace on him to stop the drought.
That's a good call by the referee. There was definitely some contact on the release of the shot.
Dion, shooting 2.
And he makes the first one. Some changes for the Celtics. He gets them both.
Kevin, they've been very efficient from the line today, extremely efficient, especially here in the second half. I mean, they've not missed one yet. 100% from the line, that's strong.
Bobcats on D. Now Allen. 5 on the shot clock. Allen converts the difficult shot.
He's been extremely active out there, and he has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
And here is Dion. Davis is there. Nice move.
They've been really strong on the glass thus far.
Sure have. Here's Allen. Drops it in on the layup. Coach Brown signals for a timeout.
Listen, when they on the foul line, I'm in your ear doing whispering.
And the Bobcats going with something different.
And DJ Augustine.
Felton with the ball. 1:23 left in the third. Here's Chandler. In close. Finishes with the soft touch. He's got 10.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
On the corner. 6 seconds to shoot. Allen. And it's off. Questionable decision-making there. Here comes Raymond Felton. Dumps it off to Wallace. Here's Radmanovic. Nails it from the wing.
Beautiful, beautiful pass. Well executed there.
Boston dictating the flow. 5-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. On the shot clock. Kept alive. Here's Wallace. Capitalized on the offensive rebound. He's got 9.
That's great hustle there, Kevin. Persistence pays.
We have just finished the third quarter, and it is a blowout. The score, 81-54. Paul Pierce has played well. 17 points and 5 assists.
Yeah, not flashy numbers, but his presence has definitely been felt out there. It's the little things, Kevin. He's getting them done.
The fourth quarter about to get started here in what's been an entertaining game. Welcome to the fourth quarter. Wide margin on the scoreboard tells it all. This one is probably over, but you never know. Anything can happen. Now Augustine. He's got 5. To Diaw. On the shot clock. Right wing, Augustine. Off from three-point land. The Celtics on offense. Here's House from short range. Graceful finish.
That's a heck of a job to lay it in around the taller defender, Kevin. Lovely, agile finish.
Diaw backs him down. Puts up the baby hook. That's good. And here are the Celtics now. To the wing. To House. 6 seconds to shoot. Davis backs in. Here's Wallace. Drains it from the low block.
You knew that one was good as soon as he released it. That's cash money.
Radmanovic lays it in. Sweet time to lead him to the rack.
That's a great feed to find him inside. When you're willing to pass the ball, good things happen.
Walker dumps it off. It stays here.
The Celtics can thank the bench for their solid play. They really are coming up big here.
It has to be nice having that kind of firepower waiting to come in off the bench.
Well, you know the starters love it when they can get a breather and the team doesn't miss a beat. It builds confidence and trust in one another when you get that kind of play.
And here are the Celtics now. 6 seconds to shoot. Here's House. Connects from downtown.
Kevin, I think you've got to fight over the top when you're defending him. He's got such a quick release that you can't give him any space.
Now Augustine, 5 points in the game. Diaw backs down. Count it! Nice shot by the 7-year veteran out of France. Boston dictating the flow. Seconds to shoot. To Walker. Lets loose for a 3. Davis snags it. Here's Walker. Still can't get it to fall.
That was a judgment call. He took a quick shot there, but I thought it was a pretty good look.
Rodmanovich in the paint. Bell. No good. So Boston will take it the other way. Here's House. Pulled in by Diaw. And he now has a double-double. And Charlotte has possession to Augustine. Bell with the shot. And Davis pulls it down. And here's Boston. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Here's Wallace. Inside.
Wallace, shooting 2.
He knocks down the first one.
As a team, they've been perfect from the line in this half. They've made them all. That's a good job, and that's exactly what you want. When you're going to get to the line, take advantage of those freebies.
He gets them both. Coach Brown, none too happy with what he's seen, and he calls time.
Explain your position. Even when you scream, it seems no one listens. Free as a bird, but it feel like listen. Never break tradition, something like a superstition. And your marriage is as powers, boring as a politician. Now listen, what you need to do is change the way you live it. It's your life, don't explain your every decision or every division. Believe and make it happen. Look at me, I'm an English rapper. It's only one life here, gotta do you, bruv. I feel marvelous. How about you, love? Yeah, I feel good. Feel good? Yeah, I feel good. You feel good? Yeah, I feel good. You feel good? Yeah, I feel good. Tell the people. Everybody jump over the edge. Everybody let go and just feel the music. Jump over the edge. Let your body go and just feel the music. Jump over the edge. Everybody jump over the edge. Everybody jump over the edge. Everybody. Don't know where the edge is, I'll explain to you, it's fine. It's that line or that time where your mind just lose your mind. Like your boss has been rude to you just one too many times.
Cheryl Miller met with Larry Brown earlier. Cheryl, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, he wants his squad to focus on pounding it down low. He said dunks and layups, guys. That's what we want. We'll see if they can get it to the rim. Back to you, Kev.
Okay, thanks. Five on the shot clock. Felton to the right wing. That's a 24-second violation, and they'll turn it over. Now Allen He's got 6. To Williams. The tray. Wallace misses.
He's trying to get it going from outside.
To the right block. Puts it in off the sweet pick.
Good pick there to set up the layup. That's textbook offensive execution.
And it's the Celtics with the ball. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. To Scalabrini. Wallace. 6 seconds to shoot. Wallace is there. Kept alive. Here's Scalabrini. Drops it in from beyond the arc.
Boy, this team has really been on the offensive glass here in the second half, doing an outstanding job. And that's one of the reasons they're on top.
Felton with the ball. On defense, Boston. Felton dumps it off. Here's Augustine on the mark with the triple.
Why anyone would want to leave this guy alone deep is beyond me.
And here are the Celtics now. To Scalabrini. Leads him with the pass. Williams' shot is good.
You can't allow him to establish deep position like that. Once he gets it in that close, he's almost unstoppable.
To the free throw line. Here's Felton. And it's no good. Poor shot selection there, to say the least. Got a piece of it. The steal by Wallace.
You know, when you compare these guys to earlier in the game, Kevin, they're doing a much better job of limiting the giveaways.
Augustine pockets the 3-ball.
Augustine.
He's shooting 40% from downtown. Boston dictating the flow. Like you were saying, Clark, quite an improvement in holding on to the ball.
And Kevin, I just think it was a matter of concentration. They've looked at what they were doing wrong, gathered themselves, regrouped, and now they're playing a much cleaner, sharper game.
That's a good way to play it.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
And the Bobcats call time here. Felton wasn't watching the line there. That's going to be an over and back. The Celtics changing it up. Here's Wallace. 13 points in the game. Six seconds to shoot. Here's Davis from close range.
That's a strong finish inside. That's where you want to work your magic, Kevin.
Diaw inside. Davis is there. On the paint, Diaw can't hit.
And right now, this is the story of the game, Kevin. They're absolutely dominating on the boards.
And the turnover by Boston. And you're right, Clark. You talk about their presence under the glass. They have complete control of this game as well.
And that's one of the reasons they are in control, Kevin.
Here comes Raymond Felton. Diao inside. Wallace on him. Puts up the baby hook. Diao can't hit. Boston dictating the flow. To Wallace. Wallace on him. Inside. Kept alive. Gets the bucket. Way to stay with it. Here comes Raymond Felton. Wallace. Now Bell. 5 on the shot clock. Right corner to end the drought. Felton can't get it to go. And it's the Celtics with the ball. Allen to the middle. To House. Knocks it loose. Stolen away by Felton.
He got caught napping. You've got to pay attention and protect the bill.
Finishes the break with a soft touch. Nice bucket by the 5th-year veteran out of North Carolina. And here's Boston.
Two minutes remaining.
6 seconds to shoot. Here's Davis. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. And so here is Charlotte. Wallace backs him down. From inside, connects from in close.
He's got a sky-high field goal percentage, and that's because he's been working to get good looks.
Right wing to Scalabrine. 6 seconds to shoot. Wallace is there. Stolen by Wallace.
Things got jammed up near the rim, and that left a golden opportunity for the steal.
Bell's shot is good.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfectly.
And it's the Celtics with the ball. 1:11 left to the 4th. Wallace down low. Chandler on him. Releases a 10-footer. Wallace misses. Here comes Raymond Felton. He's got 5. Diao.
That's a mistake your team doesn't need.
It's 1-on-1. House dumps it off. Here's Allen all alone, and the shot is good.
With this double-digit margin, very little can be done to make this a contest now.
Now Bell for 3, and Davis pulls it down. The Celtics cruise to a win as they blow out the Bobcats 103-74. Paul Pierce is the Jordan Brand player of the game and some solid numbers.
Yeah, Kevin, he was really stroking. He shot the lights out, and there was just no one out on the floor who could stop him.
Time for us to say goodbye. For Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan, thanks for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports.